Good morning, welcome to the Daily News Podcast. Today is March 31st, 2026.
The Middle East conflict took a dramatic turn overnight. The United States launched strikes on an Iranian nuclear facility, marking one of the most direct escalations yet. In response, Tehran targeted an oil tanker off the coast of Dubai. That exchange has sent shockwaves through global energy markets and raised fears of a broader regional war. Gulf allies like Saudi Arabia and the UAE are reportedly urging President Trump to press on until Iran is decisively weakened, arguing anything less would embolden Tehran. The economic toll is already staggering. The UN estimates just 1 month of war linked to Iran has cost Arab countries up to $194 billion, with vulnerable states like Yemen and Sudan facing rising poverty risks. Meanwhile, Asian nations are scrambling for alternative crude, turning to Russia as supply fears intensify.
That's the kind of escalation that rattles both markets and diplomacy at the same time. Investors clearly felt it. On the business side, oil prices plunged after Iran's president signaled the country would be willing to end the war if credible security guarantees are offered. That hint of de-escalation cooled fears of prolonged supply disruption almost instantly. But the broader economic picture is mixed. In Europe, inflation posted its biggest jump since 2022, driven largely by surging energy costs, complicating the European Central Bank's next move. In the US, job openings declined and both hiring and quits dropped to 6-year lows, suggesting the labor market is cooling more sharply than expected. And in tech, Nvidia shares fell 9% amid a wider sell-off in AI-related chip stocks, testing key technical levels and reminding investors that even the hottest AI names aren't immune to volatility.
That Nvidia drop definitely caught traders' attention. When AI stocks wobble, the whole market feels it. Staying in tech, Uber is pushing deeper into robot access. The company increased its stake in WeRide and has launched fully autonomous rides in Dubai without a human safety operator. That's a major milestone and signals real confidence in the technology. In another big shift, Google is finally allowing US users to change their Gmail addresses, something people have wanted for more than 2 decades. It may sound small, but it's a fundamental change to digital identity management. Meanwhile, healthcare IT firm CareCloud disclosed that hackers accessed a repository of patient medical records earlier this month, potentially affecting millions and adding to growing concerns about cybersecurity in the health sector.
Changing your Gmail after 20 years feels almost revolutionary. The data breach, not so much in a good way. In science and space, NASA has unveiled the crew for Artemis 2, the mission that will send astronauts on a lunar flyby as part of the renewed push to return humans to the moon. It's a key step in the broader space race, especially as China accelerates its own lunar ambitions. And in China, there's an unusual new regulation. Authorities are banning the storage of cremated remains in empty apartments, a practice that grew out of soaring cemetery costs and urban crowding. Officials say it's about regulating housing use, but it also highlights the demographic and social pressures facing Chinese cities.
Only in 2026 do we go from moon missions to housing policy for ashes in the same breath. In culture, BTS has debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 with their comeback album Erarang, moving an impressive 641,000 equivalent album units in the first week. That puts them ahead of major Western releases and reinforces their global dominance. And in gaming, the long-running VR social platform Rec Room is shutting down after a decade, despite having attracted 150 million players. The developers say they simply couldn't make the free-to-play model sustainable, marking the end of one of virtual reality's biggest social experiments.
Tough ending for VR fans, but BTS fans clearly have plenty to celebrate. That's it for today's Daily News Podcast.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest headlines.
Have a great day, everyone.